Well, it's time to bring in our next guest. I am proud to welcome Miss Eve Nasby from the Virgin Group.
Thank you.
So welcome.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
So yeah, I had lunch with one of your associates yesterday, Michael, and he brought me up to speed on a number of things. But tell us a little bit about what you do and how you do it.
Sure. The Emergent Group is just an umbrella company for HR sources. We outsource a lot, so we can help you with your staffing, your payrolling. We also have IC advisors that can help with compliance issues around 1099 contractors, which is hot, and we also do PEO.
PEO. Well, tell us what PEO is for our listeners that aren't
Professional employer organizations, yes. That is where we come in and we literally take over all the headaches of HR for you so that you can do what you do best, and that's growing your organization.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the functions of what PEO, what it means to hire a PEO.
Absolutely. So we come in and we do everything from soup to nuts in your HR. So we take over the payroll, literally. So we take care of all of your employees. We take care of their benefits. We offer them medical, dental, vision, 401k, pet insurance, all of that.
Insurance.
I know.
Got to take care of for your fur babies. Yes.
Well, I've just been researching for horse insurance. So do you do that too?
You know, I can research that for you.
Okay.
And I'll get back to you.
Okay, because Mr. Jordan's on the on the down low right now after an injury, so we definitely need to get some equine insurance for him.
Because those horses can be awfully expensive.
Yes.
When you got to have Dr. Doolittle come pay a call.
That's it.
So you'll take over everything for the business, and I assume you'll do this, let's call it in a modular format. You don't want to take over things that the business wants to maintain. You take over what they want to outsource.
That's exactly right. We take over the headaches, and especially with ACA coming up, the ever-changing rules and regulations about you don't have to worry about that at all. We take full liability, and we take care of all the workers' comp, taxes, insurance, everything. And so those employees become our employees.
Okay. Does that automatically mean that if I have let's say I have a biotech business, whatever kind of business I have, does that automatically mean that I'm going to have fees layered on top of fees and it's going to be a lot more expensive? Or are there ways that, you use your collaborative to help cut cost?
Barry, that's an excellent question. So it is a collaborative. So we have 3,000 people out working today. So we're a very large organization, and so then we can use that to leverage the costs down so the small businesses can benefit, and we pass along those costs to those small businesses.
So what you're telling me is if I have a company with 10 or 20 employees, I'm paying a lot more for services per capita than a company with 3,000 or 4,000 employees.
Excellent observation. You're absolutely on point.
So, great.
Wow, this is amazing. Well, I want to get back to something you said. The company's employees become your employees. Mm-hmm. Is that real or, literally or figuratively?
Literally. So if a company, somebody slips and falls, typically that's a workers' comp claim, and ABC company has to pick that up. Their insurance rates could go up, et cetera, et cetera. They have to deal with the paperwork. And none of that happens with PEO. That person slips and falls. It is our workers' comp that takes care of it. We take care of the paperwork. We do all of that.
Interesting. So if we look at this from since the employees are yours and you're leasing them back to the client company, okay, that means that if you're out, what happens in the hiring process? Somebody's your client comes to you and says, I want to hire a new whatever the job description is.
Part of the PEO program that you can buy into, if you will, is the staffing piece. So if they want to hire anything from a CFO to a file clerk, they can come to us. We can assist them in that process of hiring the right candidate for their company.
Doing all the background checks, doing whatever
drug
you
screens,
need to do.
Everything. Weeding through. You can place an ad in the newspaper or on email or wherever. You get 300 applicants for one receptionist. Now, how do you spend the time, or you're really wasting your time because you're not growing your business, filtering through all these resumes of people that are absolutely not qualified but are desperate for work? We take all of that away from you.
Interesting. So what happens when I want to terminate one of my employees?
That is the beauty of us. We take care of all of that. We know how to do it. In the state of California, there's a lot of laws, rules, regulations, and you could get in trouble. But having us as the certified HR professionals that we are, this is what we're paid to do. We're constantly up on all the laws, rules, regulations, and so we do those terminations and we do them right.
Well, somebody would say, well, wait a second, we're an at-will employment state. What's there to think about? You know, you don't like somebody or you don't think they're doing a good job, they're outie. How do you,
You can have somebody come to see you and say, hey, I was pregnant and you wrongfully terminated me because I was pregnant. There could be a number of different things. I mean, California.
Yeah.
You guys say more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ, streaming live at am1170theanswer.com. Give us a tweet at CloseUpSD, CloseUpSD, or email me at barry@closeupsandiego.com. You can also find our page on Facebook. We want to hear from you. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with my co-host, Andrea Kay, Urban Miaris, and we have the lovely and talented Eve Nasby.
Hey, wait a second. I know. Although she is lovely and talented.
Oh, you're getting into trouble, Barry.
I know.
Hey, listen, all I need to do to get in trouble is open my mouth. That's the easiest thing on the planet for me.
So maybe that's why you might need a little PEO help, Barry, because this basically protects the employers from those of us who tend to open our mouths. Right, Eve?
That's
right.
True. I might need a thesaurus or something, too, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
So
you guys do everything, to recap, that's involved in HR, from the hiring and the staffing to the firing and all the benefits. I mean, why would somebody not? Is there a minimum size of a company that you like to work with?
I think the ideal size would be 200 employees and less would be the ideal size for us.
Okay.
So anything on the well, of course, you do temp service, too, so you can find temporary employees.
Absolutely. So any occupation, we can identify those talented people for you.
Right. So
any particular industries that are most compatible with your services?
Actually, we're in all the verticals you can think of, from biotech to insurance to manufacturing. We're in all of those different verticals, but that's a really good question.
Wow.
So your main focus is the back room, so to say.
Yes, we are. We become the back office for organizations as a PEO.
So the employees actually working. I'm trying to figure the culture of a company between the front office and the back office, which generally is separated when you get above so many employees. These employees that are actually your employees, they work for you. I'm trying to get the culture with the company that they're representing. And how it works.
So you've got a subset of employees that are already working at ABC company, and now that company says, I don't want to deal with the rules, regulations, the California, all this. I want just to offload that so then I can focus on growing my business. So you have the same companies. Sally is still sitting at the same desk, but now she's getting a paycheck, not from ABC company, but from Amerit Consulting.
I tell you personally, my personal business background, I love the front room. I hate the back room.
Right.
I hate it. When I used to have to go to that part of the company, which was in another building, I used to go there just to give a speech.
Yes.
That's all, and leave. Wow.
And I agree with you. I don't like that stuff either. So the secret to success, according to Dale Carnegie, is to hire people smarter than yourself. And so we have an entire team of back office people that are way smarter than me that take care of all of that and make us look really good.
That's an interesting question about the culture, Urban, and I think I can maybe answer it because I worked at a major corporation to where a lot of the administrative people were brought in on a temp to perm hire situation, and whether it was the admin aides or whether it was people in the finance department. And from a cultural standpoint, they were at every party we had. They were no different as a part of our culture than anybody else who was there. It was transparent.
That goes on, and I know personally, I'd rather go out there and meet with the customers and do the marketing and the sales than be in the controller's room and all of that.
Right. Agreed.
Interesting. So we break it down into the modular pieces once again. I look at a lot of the retirement plans that we set up for clients, and people, the employee especially, stops and says, well, they put out a retirement plan for me. So I can just participate, but they don't stop and see all the cost that goes behind it. I think about it. If I have my employees with you, you're paying the administrative cost for the 401k or what have you. I don't have to pay that anymore.
Right.
That's incredible.
Oh, so it's
Beautiful.
a cost savings as well as unloading a headache.
Yeah.
The economies of scale, all of that, yes. Absolutely.
Now, we have in San Diego County, we have some businesses that have been on our show that also have operations south of the border. Can you work with those organizations as well?
We do. We operate in 7 other countries through a third-party provider. Yes, absolutely. We can help.
Wow.
So you're global. You're international, Miss Eve.
Yes, and all that money we're saving you and I can go to Europe.
Yay! Score!
I noticed you said you and Andrea could go to
Yes,
Europe.
yes.
Okay.
Well, the lovely
you
people need to
conveniently-
hang out together.
Exactly. We're the beautiful people, Barry.
I look at this like driving a car. Everybody's on there, and you jump on the HOV or the what do they call it? That
The diamond.
fast lane,
Fast track.
like that. So the business owners and the people who produce the money on that lane, and all the other people are bumper to bumper driving.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
I like the way you think.
Yeah. Well, we're starting to run short on time. Tell our listeners how they can find out more about your company or your companies.
Absolutely. They can call me at 619-244-3000 24/7 or go online at www.ameritconsulting.com. That's www.amerit consulting.com.
Wow. That's great. So, and I definitely want to keep this story running, because one of the things that we haven't gotten into today is how you're tied in with the disabled veteran market and what have you, which is just an absolutely wonderful thing that you guys
And
do.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
So,
Well, we've got about 30 seconds left.
30
Do you think
seconds
you
left.
can squeeze it in about Brave in 30 seconds?
tell us, give us a 30-second scoop.
We've set up a service that is uniquely designed just to pair veterans with great companies.
Wow.
How'd I do?
Great. You did good.
And hire a vet.
That kind of nets it out,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
that's it.
Hire a vet. And if you want to hire a vet, go call
me.
Eve. What's that number again?
619-244-3000.
Perfect.
All right, awesome.
Perfect. Okay, well, I appreciate you being with us, and
you.
I look forward to keeping this story running in future weeks.
Outstanding. Thank you.
Great. You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. Send us a tweet at CloseUpSD, or just find our page on Facebook. You can always email me at barry@closeupsandiego.com. Let me know what you think. I'm your host, Barry Waxler. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.